Ready to delve more into the subject of Tesla stock splits. Tesla's stock was split 5-for-1 in 2020, with a $2,000 share price. In 2022, after just 2 years, it divided 3-for-1 at a cost of $900 per share. However, what if I told you, just like Morpheus did in The Matrix, that the next stock split might occur in 2024? What if I told you that there might be a method to use the knowledge of stock splits to strategically buy shares in order to cash out? Though it may seem too wonderful to be true, bear with me. This video will take you inside the world of Tesla stock splits and provide some fascinating information about the company's strategy, including their goal price range following the split and their preference for staying away from 4-digit stock values. We will go over everything, and if that's not enough, we will also look at estimates for Tesla's numbers related to manufacturing and delivery. But hit that subscribe and like button before we head there. Tesla's stock split 5-for-1 in 2020 at a price of $2,000 per share. As we previously reported, 2 years later, in August 2022, the shares split 3-for-1 at a price of $900 per share. What if I told you that in a year there will be another stock split? I know this seems absurd, and I'm not expecting many of you to take me seriously. I thought I'd share with you some things I learned about Tesla's stock split process before we go into estimates and numbers. When Tesla split its equity for the first time, a share cost $2,000. The price per share was about $1,000 the second time. This appears to be the company's way of saying, yep, we don't want to see Tesla stock in the 4 digits, which is in line with their prior preferences for stock prices. Why would a corporation that owns stock want the price of its stock to be in the 4 digits? The fact that Google and Amazon split their equity 20-for-1 is fantastic, but I still believe it's absurd that there are shares for thousands of dollars. Rather, I believe that the next split of Tesla's stock will be in the upper hundreds. Though we're not positive, I'm betting for $800 per share. Another issue regarding Tesla stock that I discovered is that the business does not want the price of its shares to fall below $200 following a stock split. Given that the low end of its spectrum is approximately $300, this is an intriguing detail to take into account. We'll look more closely at these guidelines in this video. Initial projections indicate that there will be 14 million new cars on the road in 2030. Although I agree that 20 million is the intended number, I don't think it will happen by 2030. Instead, I think it will happen in 2032 or 2033, just to be cautious. Although we don't know how many customers are paying the FSD each month or have FSD subscription numbers, we're going to assume that 15% of all newly sold vehicles will convert to or pay the full $15,000 or whatever the FSD will be. Let's begin by projecting an EPS of $45 for 2030. It may seem bullish to some, but I don't think that's justified. As early as this year, I believe Tesla's performance will astound us. It will be completely insane. Now let's figure out what the stock prices would be and when a stock split would occur. We have the solution for 2022, which is a PE of 50, or about $201 per share when you guys are ready. However, at this moment, the PE for 2023 is about 60. A PE of 60 is also extremely remarkable given that the market is currently in a bear market. Since we will most likely be in a bull market by the end of this year, or at least halfway through, I'm going to predict a PE of 60 here for 2020 and 2023 as well. Nobody knows for sure, but by year's end, I hope to see a curve in inflation and a gradual halt or even decrease in interest rates. As you can see, the Fed constantly changes its mind on these issues, and you can always count on them to be the catalyst for the next bull market. Gary Black is projecting a 12-month target, or a year from today, for the stock price, which is $370 per share. This suggests an astounding PE of 74, which is absolutely absurd and values the business at $1.2 trillion. A PE of 50, in my opinion, would indicate a stock price of about $400. However, in a bull market, the market could become crazy, as we saw in the previous bear market. For what reason, I mean, are companies like Netflix, Tesla, and Meta down 80%. These people are like money-making machines. Why must the price of their stocks drop by 80%? That's not grounded in any principles at all. It's sparked by fear. None of this is based on forecasts or math. Fear is driving everyone to sell. You sell, I sell, he sells, she sells. You purchase, I buy, and the value of both keeps going up in a bull market. Companies such as Tesla usually trade in the low hundreds or low 200s if and when there is a stock split. As a result, it is easy to forecast that the stock price of the company would rise fourfold. Now the price per share will probably drop to about $800 with a PE of 70 in 2025 if you want to ride out this bull market. Moreover, assuming a conservative outlook, the price per share may decline to $240 or $960 following a stock split in 2026. Ultimately, on a 35-for-1 basis, the price per share may decrease to $250 or $273 in 2027. Unless there is another big drop such to what we had earlier this year or even in late 2022, I do not personally see Tesla stock in the 30 Ps. By 2030, you might say $302 per share if you were to give it a PE of 27, which is equal to $290 per share. In my opinion, Tesla's PE will stay in the low 20s for the remainder of this decade and the first half of the next if no significant breakthrough occurs that may propel the company to even higher levels after taking into consideration all of the splits. Let's see if my estimate that the average price for this ticket will be in the low 30s for the next 10 years and in the mid-50s for the current one is accurate. When do I think Tesla will split its shares honestly? So let's go back a bit in this instance. My goal is a 60 PE of $300 per share in 2023. My estimates indicate that the stock price with a PE of 50 in 2024 will be approximately $400. Well, it will be approximately $450 in 2025. With a PE of 40, it will most likely be approximately $700 in 2026. Therefore, if we maintain things at a base market rather than in a bull or bear market, I believe that either year between 2026 and 2027 could see the first announcement of a stock split. As a result, they will most likely split their stock at this point in 2026, when its market value will be close to $2.5 trillion. What I do know is that this will probably not be the last time Tesla splits its shares around these levels, or between $200 and $300. In the long run, depending on growth, I predict that the corporation will split its stock twice more this decade and twice more in the 2030s. In the optimistic scenario, Tesla might divide its shares as soon as 2024, probably towards the end of the year. However, I think this is quite unlikely. Instead, when the stock hits $500 to $600 a share, which may happen at the end of this decade or perhaps in the early 2030s, that's when they'll split the stock next. To be honest, 2026 seems like the sweet spot to me. I believe we should have completed a separation by now or be getting ready to do so by 2026, but I could be wrong and it could be any year between 2025 and 2027. Although stock splits are always unpredictable, it makes sense for Tesla to want to maintain its 3-digit stock price since it maintains shares affordable for the average individual. I believe this forecast will hold up well, but we'll have to wait and see how well it develops in the next years. I appreciate you seeing. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you like this kind of stuff. I'll see you in the future video. Please let me know if you require any further changes.